It is Tuesday. It's been a hot minute, but the Omni X-Men are back. And hey, Justin, how you doing, man?
Woohoo! What's up, John? I'm doing good, man. Another Tuesday evening. I know we skipped a week for the holidays, but we are back, and I'm really excited to dive into this issue, man.
It's 107 was a big issue, so it'll be exciting to see what everybody thinks about 108 and sort of continuation from last time. Yep. We have another awesome community member joining us for this issue.
Ooh,
we got KACHOONG.
G'day.
What's
How's
up,
everyone
man?
doing?
Good, man.
Got my issue ready.
Rock on, bro.
I was showing how mine got wonderful writing on it. Apparently, this was a 15-center at some point due to some pen decision that somebody had.
It's a deal. Steal of the deal.
I did not pay 15 cents for this.
Hope everyone's doing great. Last week of the year.
Yeah, that's right.
It's just trying to survive, right? Stay alive. It's like the Hunger Games.
Seriously.
We're going to say hello to some people in the chat, but the Omni X-Men are here. We got issue 108 to break down tonight, and some excitement to share with all y'all. This is an exciting issue for sure. We got Saladin Fatima in the chat. First one, beating by 2 whole minutes, Ruben Guzman. You're off your game. You're off your game, brother. Got the Southern Comic Geek in the chat. Hello, sir.
Ooh, Southern Comic Geek. What's good, brother?
PJ's in the chat.
What's up, PJ?
Got Magic Lasso say, so what happens if you quiet an ant? Answer, it becomes a mute ant. Hello.
He's getting point.
Comedy of the Magic Lasso. Thank you, sir. Hello, Todd Christian.
What's up, Todd?
We got the Jackson Roy Kirk, one of our trivia masters.
That's right.
Oh, he's ready.
He says, you skipped a week. Then who was I chatting with?
What issue were you reading?
Right. Hello, Popcorn is back with KACHOONG.
There it is.
KACHOONG plus Popcorn is winning. I agree. So thank you all for coming by. I'm sure we'll have some more people like Sam's Tangled Web and Sharon Life with 2 YouTubers bouncing in here as we get rolling here. But yeah, we missed a little time here. It took a little break, a little chance to reset the old system, and now we're kicking into the new year here with some transitions on the art side of the X-Men comic book series. Yep. The Cockrum era finishing, the Byrne era starting. I will legitimately say, when I first was reading these comics, the first few decades probably, I had no understanding of the transition. It was pretty seamless for me. I'm curious what you guys thought, if this was a seamless transition art-wise for you.
I mean, it definitely was smooth, but at the same time, there were just some panels that were just so beautiful in this thing. And I'm a big fan of John Byrne. I mean, I bought his whole run of Fantastic Four, and obviously trying to collect this X-Men stuff now. So I think it was done well, but it also was, I mean, it is at the same time kind of, it's clear that, it's him, that is his work.
Yeah. I mean, for me, he's clearly a better artist than Cockrum, but, I mean, it's a beautiful cover. It's still a Cockrum cover. And Byrne just, I mean, for a second I thought, is this really still Cockrum? Because it was similar in a few panels, but then when you see Byrne shine, his art really, it pops.
Yeah,
and it just makes it that much better,
Yeah, absolutely. We got Jeffrey coming in late. He says, blame Andy. I will happily blame Andy for everything. Sophia's watching from another room. She's probably got some pugs.
Hey.
She sure is.
She's living pug life. That's all it is. Magic Lasso saying it's a disappointment that Phoenix is not on a cover of such an important Phoenix issue. And that's a great point. But we were saying this cover gets bonus points for Storm Booty right there next to Justin in the background there. You can see he's living that life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're like your neighbor, basically. Hello, Catton is here. Ahoy to you, sir. So let's give this one a grade. Justin, if you were going to score this out of 10, what are your thoughts on this 108?
All right, so I mean, I think this is definitely in the 9s for me. I'm putting it up there. I think it's like it's got to be up to a 9.5 for me. And a lot of it has to do with the artwork for sure. I mean, the story's great. I think it's action packed. It has some deeper storyline to it, I guess, and we'll get into that with Phoenix as Lasso mentioned. But the artwork for me, man, there are some panels, and I know we'll go through it, but there are just some beautiful panels that really I would love to get a poster of some of these panels if I could.
Well, and I know that Dave has mentioned several times that he's looked at some of the KACHOONG stuff we've seen in the previous issues and said, that's wall art. That is wall art.
100%. Yeah. So I'm going with a high one. I'm going with a 9.5 here.
Dave, how about you?
It's funny because it's almost always Jean Grey or Storm, that you want as wall art. But so I gave the story, I kind of broke it down. I gave the story like an 8.5, the cover a 9, and the art interior is a 9.5. So it averaged to about a 9 for me.
Yeah, and I would say I'm in that range as well. I would say I might have fallen further to the 8.5 just because the story for me is so wackadoo and there's so many little plot holes going on here that I was like, okay, I can't give you a pass on this. There's some stuff. I mean, I just have one big question mark next to Dickens' name where I'm just like, he's a bad guy. Did he just vanish or something? They just totally forgot about the guy.
They did.
I got some questions about it, but I do love the sort of 2001 or Star Trek #1 film vibes that I get from this, as far as like there's a lot of like psychedelic stuff happening in this issue for sure.
It takes over from the villains. I was like, what happened to the villains? Can we get more villains, please? And they just disappeared. It just became kind of a bit of a trip, right?
Right. Here, let me real quickly for Jeffrey in the chat here. Jeffrey, do you mean this book right here, buddy? Let's talk about this one. I got you right here, buddy. He and I have the same taste. You can tell he's like, oh, I get it now. There you go. So I beat you. Just saying.
Delphia agrees with you. She's a Storm fan, bigger than I am.
I think anybody with good taste is a Storm fan. I mean, let's just be honest. So are we ready to jump into the slideshow here? And
please.
Yeah, let's do it up.
So that's a little repetitive, obviously, seeing the background and the background twice there, but gotta love that Storm cover. So here we left off with more mutants in space. This was a wild splash page to kind of start with the crystal lighting up and everybody staring at it. How do you feel about cosmic mutants? Is that something that you guys really enjoy?
I don't know. I'm not crazy about the cosmic stuff in general. I think it just my preference is a little bit more down to earth type stuff. I guess it's just not as relatable, but it's fine, I guess.
I'm definitely a fan of cosmic, but when it comes to mutants, not as much. Although they were supposedly planted by the Celestials and they came from outer space. Maybe, who knows? But I think the cosmic element using the Starjammers is kind of cool.
I know that it tends to divide a lot of X-Men fans, that there's those that really want like the down to earth, Days of Future Past. Let's just stick with the drama of racism on Earth. And then I kind of geek on it sometimes, where I really dig like when they're fighting the Brood and stuff, and it's just all crazy aliens. And I ride the line there on that one.
It can get overpopulated very quickly with too many characters,
right?
And then you got a problem.
And this issue and the last as well, right? Hello, Chet. He says he's got a 9.4 Claremont only in blue. There you go.
Whoa.
Hello, Comic Man Andy is in the chat. Hello to you. Thank you for coming by.
We're the graphics.
Yeah, right. Now I have the X-Men theme song in my head. Hey, that's what we want. If that's the only thing we can give you from this show, then I'm set.
And there's the disco ball right there.
Right? The light shining off of it and everything. So we left off with mutants in space, and they spend a couple of pages kind of catching us up on this. Cyclops even sort of like recaps the story a little bit, and then we jump to all the Avengers and the Fantastic Four, sort of Earth's heroes looking and dealing with this unusual blip that happened when the crystal got turned on. And it was cool to see everybody. I felt like this was kind of a waste of a beginning to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm. Yeah,
opinions. They're all kind of throwing out their opinions. And then they kind of just listen to the scientist in the end, right?
Right. Well, and you get like, you know, the Wasp and Yellow Jacket, although it's Hank Pym. There's a little moment of she's so frightened. I mean, that's not Wasp. Come on, she's not that scared. There's no imminent threat for her right then. Like, there's not like there's like a monster around the corner or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, she said. What was that?
I was to say that they're still trying to figure out like what is even happening. So for her to act that distressed, it is kind of weird.
She just said, "Hank, hold me close." And I was like, "Wait, Beast? That's not Beast." Take a second.
Man, that's a really bad drawing there. Beast.
She's not with Beast.
Yeah, he also gets his tagline at one point, right? Beast says, "Oh God, what is it? Oh, my stars and garters."
It's further down. Yeah, it's kind of below that.
Oh, my stars and garters. He doesn't really give us his face except on a computer screen. Beast is like kind of hidden away. You get a lot more of T'Challa like right there in the front.
Yeah, that's cool.
So Chet says X-Men, he loves the X-Men in space. And Todd says he wants Brood versus Aliens now that Marvel owns all of it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Notice the Raj 2000 Easter egg. I did not notice that. Is that the name of the screen of the computer? Yeah, Raj 2000 right there in front of Peter's face, basically, is the word Raj 2000. There you go.
What is that a nod to?
I'm sure it's a nod to 2001 and the HAL 9000 computer. This is Raj for, just like the precursor to HAL, I suppose. PJ likes the X-Men grounded, more focus on the school. See, there you go. I think it's a divisive topic overall, but we'll roll through this little catch up to Jeff. You mean this guy's name is Jeff? This guy's name is Jeff.
I just thought of that scene from what is it? Where he goes, "My name's Jeff." I can't think of the movie. Jump Street 22 or whatever that is.
22 Jump Street.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, apparently they have a weird alien creature guarding the M'Kron crystal named Jeff, and so Jeffrey, there you go. You got the first appearance of Jeff, and he packs a punch, man.
I love that. Oh my God.
And Wolverine's like, I can take this. Firstly, Wolverine should know number one, don't judge somebody by their size, but apparently not. Because he throws some shade at this little guy, and the little guy punches him so hard he basically goes into orbit. He knocks Wolverine into orbit, and that's basically the last you see of Wolverine for the most of this issue.
Yeah. I was confused at first because I saw this pow, and then there's this view from space, and I'm like, why are we going into space right now? But that's because Wolverine did.
There you go. People are telling me that Raj 2000 is one of Byrne's earliest creations. There you go.
Oh,
boom! There you go. And Chet, it's not Joff. No, that's horrible. It's definitely Jeff.
Joff. At first, I thought it was Jamf, like Bamf.
I trust Jeffrey on this one. It's Jeff. It's Jeff. So a little bit weird that the crystal has like a sentient guardian. Like, I don't know that I get that, but okay. And it packs a wallop and beats the stuffing out of all of our guys, and then like Phoenix drops like a part of a meteor on him.
Overkill.
And he's like, fine. He all it does is like give his mohawk a little spike.
At times I feel like the X-Men, it's like, here, let me try X-Men. Let me try it. They all give it a go. And even Storm, thinks about having a go. And then Phoenix is like, all right, hold my beer. Here's an asteroid. I mean, it was a bit of overkill, but it didn't do anything.
Well, I just also love that this guy is super powerful and he's rocking the full unitard dad bod. This guy, he's got legit dad bod and he's rocking this onesie and just living his life, man.
Yeah, where'd they find this guy?
I don't know. He even says I'm here to protect it. Anybody who encroaches on the crystal, I have to defeat them. And they're like, okay, but we don't want to encroach on the crystal. And he's like, I don't care. You've encroached too far. Now I have to destroy you all.
He's right. Yeah, he's like, I believe you. But that doesn't matter. There's no exceptions.
I think Hickman needs to write him into the story of the new stuff.
This book is going to definitely spike, right?
Well,
and Crown Crystal's guardian Jeff comes back.
Without jumping ahead, and giving anything away, but the other guy is supposed to be 1,000 times stronger than him,
which is hilarious.
And
right?
this guy's the strongest thing in the whole book.
Let's roll through here and see how he's taken down, because Banshee seems to think, hey, maybe this thing is a robot from how he's talking, and he flies in close, gets in a good cuddle, and then blasts him in the throat, I guess. Just looks like he's vomiting right in the guy's throat. He's blasting this thing. And he defeats it. This is his power move, apparently.
Yeah, that was a little far-fetched for sure. The fact that he defeated him with that. And
Banshee just solos this guy like a boss here. And then sadly, no, there's more levels to this game. There's another. You defeat one guardian, and we've got Mod. Right. Mod, the second guardian of the crystal, which is his power is 1,000 times greater than Jeff's. Then why did we need Jeff? Point, why do we have Jeff when we've got Mod? And personally, I see Jeff and I'd think Wolverine, I'm not scared. I see Mod and I'm running for my life. So why do we need Jeff on any level? What function is Jeff fulfilling?
Yeah, really. Just send Mod in there to begin with. Save some time.
Totally. He's pretty cool. He's a bit like a Sentinel, right?
Right. Yeah. A giant gold and blue, UCLA branded Sentinel. And it just feels like a video game at this point. And nobody's paying any attention, as just like last issue, nobody's paying attention to Deken, who's basically the end game boss in the video game, right?
Yep.
It's ridiculous. I don't need you, Jeffrey, at every function. No. This is a different Jeff we're talking about here. We don't need him at all. So he's boasting and bragging. And then I guess his name is Raza. Right?
Raza.
Yep. So Raza just in one move takes Deken and throws him into the Emkron crystal.
It's a full-on NWO move. Look at that.
It's
right.
it's crazy.
This guy. Firstly, Deken is bragging, right?
Yeah.
He's villain monologuing enough that Deken can run straight at him, hoist him up, and throw him into the crystal without any problem.
Yeah. Do you remember? There's a New Mutants. It was issue number 4 or 5 of the New Mutants that's currently running, and Raza's in it, and he goes up against Magic, and they have this sword fight or something like that, and Magic ends up spoilers, but she ends up beating him. It was more of a sport though. It was more of a I'll show you, but to see Raza here with all this power, I don't know. I just was where did that come from, and where did it go, or we didn't see that in the newer stuff, so I don't know.
Well, whatever he does, it works, kind of. It makes the baddie go away.
It made me think of the Dungeons and Dragons rule that you don't attack all the little henchmen. Why are you guys fighting Jeff? Fight Deken. He's right there. There's 20 of you.
If you see a shark and you're diving with someone, just stab your buddy.
Right? You don't need to swim faster than the shark. You just need to swim faster than your friend.
Sacrifice someone else.
I just thought it was hilarious that nobody was fighting Deken. And of course, that's when Raza just steps up and chucks this guy right into the the stone there.
But not
Well,
before
and
he
that
says the word
teleports them.
"thou" like 20 times.
So yeah, let's move on to what happens, because now we get into the psychedelic stuff here. Somehow they all get transported into the crystal, and they're all kind of like dealing with, like Storm says, I don't like this place. Bad vibes, weird vibes. And then they all started getting like blasted by these beams of blood-hued light. It's all real psychedelic, and they're losing some control of themselves here in this space.
Except Phoenix seems to think it's quite beautiful in some way.
Definitely.
She has some kind of connection.
She's being drawn in.
Chet says the next few pictures of Jean are artistic to death.
Yeah.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to that right here. But this was my favorite when you get to like the 3-panel, like weird. It's like the panels were melting together, and you get the vision. These lasers that are being blasted into them, this blood-hued light, is forcing them all to relive their nightmares, and you get to see what. So DeKen is still here. I don't know. I don't know where he went, but he's right there. He's having his nightmare about the Soul Drinker, and then you get Nightcrawler, and he's having some wacko dream about all the X-Men pounding him to death, like driving a stake through his heart. And you got over there, then you got the Starjammers and Corsair having to relive the death of his wife. Pretty dramatic stuff there. I just love the layout and the way they're kind of like bleeding into the panels, and the panels are melting apart. It's cool.
It's very cool.
It's a great panel. They need to do more of that these days. It kind of tells a good story for multiple characters.
Totally.
Big time.
And then it bleeds into this one, which I know was one of Justin's faves, where you see sort of Phoenix and what she's picturing. And I love the creepy Miss Marvel as a skull. That's wicked.
Oh, man. Yeah, it definitely was. I just love the split between the two. And really just, I don't know. I like that it's all kind of one color, and yet he still makes it work. I just thought that was awesome. And then I just love the panel on the right. I think she's gorgeous there. I think it's just a great artwork. These two and the two that you had on prior are just some of my favorite pieces of art. That kind of what Chet was saying. They're incredible. I mean, these John Byrne this is where it really stood out to me.
And she's really starting to like feel where she is. She kind of thinks back to the happenings of 101 when she dies, and she's kind of at peace with it.
Right.
So she can control somewhat better than the others, her nightmares.
Yeah, because she realizes that she's very disconnected from the person that she was, and the fears that haunted that person aren't the ones haunting her anymore.
And then she gets a fear that she's actually disconnecting so much that she's disconnecting from reality. And that's when her fear comes in and her powers start to become a little uncontrollable.
Which is always fun. Hello to JR Team Nerd Herd. How you doing, man?
What's up, JR?
Yeah, so let's get. I think some of these were the ones KACHOONG started to dig on too. So we get the rest of them are freaking out, and Cyclops tries to blast her, but of course it goes right through her in this crazy place where they are, and she takes control of Scott, or tries to, but he blasts the shell of the crystal, as it were, and we broke the universe, all right. Definitely shattering the universe here.
I like that. What's Banshee doing behind Jean there? Like, she's blasting Cyclops in the back of the head.
We don't get his fear.
It looks like, he's like just dealing with it somehow.
I thought he's like holding his throat.
Oh, he's my throat. My throat still hurts.
His biggest fear is sore throat.
I got strapped.
Bronchitis. Yeah, he doesn't have control of the optic blasts, and she tries to control it for him, but somehow in doing so, it blasts this crystal that's holding them. And then we get started getting wild and weird here. She sees inside the crystal, and there's like this is where it starts to really lose me, because the vocabulary that Jean uses at different, the geodesic lattice work of anti-energy. I'm like, okay, that's who talks like this,
right? Yeah.
Geodesic lattice work of anti-energy. Wow.
She somehow managed to cancel the nightmare field.
Right. I love too the cutaway to Earth and Misty Knight still packing her Saturday night special.
That's an every night special.
And I could have sworn that Xavier was all alone on that rooftop, but it seems like everybody has no time has seemed to have passed. Everybody is still there on the rooftop.
It's a popular place.
Things are happening. Things are happening.
Nice view.
Things are starting to tear apart.
Right? Yeah, the fracturing of reality. I do love the like sort of moth butterfly thing happening with the light there in the bottom right panel.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. The
Yeah.
eyes.
Yeah. And then whoo, this was a panel. This was almost my favorite one. Didn't I blow your mind this time? This is like, just listen to some of this. All plunge helplessly down this insatiable gravity well to the end gravity, their mass adding to its gravity, gravity attracting more mass until reality itself begins to tear apart. That was a tough one.
Gravity is reality.
It's all just psychedelic, man. Yeah, Jackson, right? Go Misty. She's gonna pop a cap in gravity. Claremont can be verbose at times, yeah. But I also think like this one feels a ton. I mean, in the last year, I rewatched Star Trek 1, which is one of the slower, more psychedelic ones that they made, and this reminds me of that movie a ton. It just has that like wild vibe, like, yeah, man, it's just outer space, man.
Just go with it.
Right? So anyways, I just dug this panel. It feels almost like watercolor or something, instead like paint instead of that's just cool. I dig it.
Yeah.
Then they get the teamwork elements. I know you both mentioned the Storm coming in to offer to give her life energy to Phoenix here.
Yeah, I got to say that panel there where she looks like Dark Phoenix, it's like she's about to lose it. And she's losing reality. And my favorite panel there on the right with Storm, she just out of nowhere, she just hands her basically her life,
Yeah,
and her hand to say, look, very selflessly, use me as an anchor. I'm here for you.
right. Which is hilarious because then Jean says to Corsair, "You Corsair, help me," and he's like, "What, me?"
He's like,
Why should I?
He's got the opposite. Storm is like volunteering, and this guy's like, "Screw that."
yeah. He's trying to run away.
Douche of the week, right?
Right.
It is a heavy scene with that, the idea that Storm is essentially ready to give up her life for this big event that's happening. And I love her look on that bottom left-hand corner, or that bottom left-hand panel there. And just seeing her hand kind of recapturing the other panel, but from a different angle, and just seeing like her face and everything, I think is just that's another part of the artwork that really drew me into this
Yeah.
issue.
She looks so sure of herself.
Like I would take that hand, I would take that hand.
Well, it's nice that like she is basically saying, like, I recognize I'm out of my depths, but I think you can be the only one that might solve this. So I'm happy to help however I can. So definitely all about the teamwork here. And Dave was talking about these Phoenix pages here. Do you want to say something here, Dave?
Oh, just the succession of those few pages on the right there, the few panels. It's just incredible art. It's that classic Jean pose, Phoenix pose.
Mm-hmm. Like that 101.
Right.
Yeah.
They do revisit that imagery a lot. I think it's just so iconic and so powerful. Even then, it's only been 7 issues since, and it's still just so visually stimulating. And then the slow evolution into this sort of symbol and less of the flame, but more of the symbol of the phoenix there.
Yeah, right. And then she ends up in this sphere, right?
Yeah. But so Lasso says, Gene be like, Corsair, here's a free preview of your Ancestry.com profile.
Yeah, that's it. That is so accurate.
She basically just says, I got to go save the world. By the way, that's your son. Go take care of him.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
And then Corsair's like, oh, my Lord, Scott? So there you go. Little, Ancestry.com moment. This film is sponsored by Ancestry.
Yeah, nice plug. Yeah.
And then, they somehow escape inside of the bubble with the spaceship. And I don't know I really don't know that I understand. I love the way it looks. Looks amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I defy anyone to fully explain to me what's happening right now.
I just guessed that Phoenix was guiding them back to the portal.
I suppose, yeah. And it says, and I wrote, Phoenix is probably the real MVP. Yeah, Banshee saved us from Jeff, but Phoenix saved us from the universe.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Desired Comics. Thanks for coming by, man.
Nigel, what's up, man?
So,
but by beating Jeff, he ended up with Strep.
Right, yeah.
He's like,
well, he fought Banshee, and Banshee had a sore throat. What do you expect? Yes, and apparently we get back to Earth, and Firelord is still standing there waiting. He's just, I'm waiting to kick somebody's butt. I'm going to stay here until I can beat some X-Men.
I like that he's standing there with his staff, like holding his staff, like up. Like, how long was he standing there like that? You know,
I was hoping that this was like an event that lasted weeks, but
well, apparently he stood there while Xavier explained everything to him.
Right,
just like that.
At the ready.
Yeah, so. That was that Firelord just it was so frustrating. Even I mean, I know I've expressed myself before in the earlier issues of him just like, you know, believing Eric the Red and just going with whatever Eric the Red had said. And yet now, after all this, like, oh, he has a little downtime. Okay, now let me get the real story. You know, right. Okay, now you care to listen. I don't know. It's just, yeah.
But it reminded me of I'm a Western fan. It reminded me of the movie Tombstone when Kurt Russell beats Billy Bob Thornton and slaps him around a bunch, and then he shows up with a shotgun to try to kill him. And Doc Holliday walks up and they have this full conversation, and Billy Bob's just standing there holding his shotgun the whole time, like not he's bleeding, doesn't know. And then finally Val Kilmer turns to him and says, "Oh, I didn't realize you were still here. You can go now." Like and basically that's what Firelord did for 2 issues. He just stood there waiting to be dismissed.
I'm getting the case of the Andes. I'm about to just lose it. That comment, twirling his staff like he's getting ready for band camp.
There he goes, right? There you go. He was getting his CrossFit on. There you go. Joel the Geek, thanks for coming by, man. Joel is an awesome guy. If you guys don't know Joel's channel, you should check it out. Hanging out in the Geek Fort on Sundays with Joel is a lot of fun.
Nice.
Firelord, you can't go home. You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. That was Billy Bob. He slaps around. You gonna do something or just stand there and bleed?
It's a cool panel with Lilandra coming through the portal like that.
I was gonna say, it's very like, you know, she's all like sexy and coming through like boob first, basically walking through there. I love it. And then it's like it's almost kind of wrapped. I feel like this issue wraps up so quickly. They're all home, everybody's happy, and Lilandra monologues this whole thing that I still am confused by, where she basically says, "You'll not be rid of me so easily, Charles Xavier. What happened with the Emcron crystal drove my brother insane, incurably insane, almost catatonic. But he has no wife or children. By law, I should succeed him. But I led a rebellion against the Empire, and by that same law, I am considered a traitor. Yet, what I did was right. The High Council knows this. So once they iron out the legal wrinkles, they'll summon me home." What a speech. What a bizarre, random speech for her to be giving, right? There's so much random information. She's just vomiting.
They jammed it all. Yeah, they jammed everything into 2 sentences.
That's like an epic 3 hour long movie.
Right?
Right.
That would be great to watch, but
I almost feel like the X-Men that were with her on this journey would be like, is that what we've been doing all these hours? I totally did not understand that. We were fighting some guy named Jeff the whole time.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm every time I do that, I get Chet dropping, Joff! It's Joff! Sorry. Sorry, Chet. I just think it's funnier if I say Jeff. If it's the more normal his name is, the more entertaining it is. Yeah. So, yeah, I do agree. This is a great first Byrne X-Men as far as art is concerned. He gets a lot of toys to play with in this, a lot of fun psychedelic pages to play with here. So what are your guys' thoughts now, revisiting this? How do you feel as this launching point for this huge run here?
oh, great. So I think Wolverine, look at Wolverine. He's like in Nightcrawler's arms, booted into space.
He got knocked into outer space, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Wolverine.
He kind of is out of it for most of this book.
They brought him back. He needs to sleep and a cigar and a beer.
Right. In short, Lalanja is saying, "Can I crash on your couch?"
Pretty much.
She's a good guy now.
So for me, like as much as I do love the art in this issue, I feel like it's really hampered by just some bizarre story choices, including for me, this issue wraps up. I feel like you could have cut Jeff and given us an actual ending that might have been a little more meaningful here. I don't know why the Crystal needed 2 Guardians, but much less any Guardians at all. I feel like you could have done a lot with just like the power of the Crystal and fighting D'Ken, but instead D'Ken keeps getting pushed to the background, and then they got 2 random Guardians to fight, and then a rushed one panel like ending for me. It just frustrates me.
Yeah,
just give the Sentinel Jeff's powers. Get rid of Jeff, and then you got some room.
Yeah, what even made them think to do 2 levels of guys to begin with? And if anything, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of when they were in the Crystal battling their own fears. Going a little more in depth with each of the characters, because they didn't even touch on all the characters per se. But they could have for sure.
Absolutely. Chet says, "I think this set me up well enough not to expect what was next for the next 12 issues." Okay, there you go.
Guess what? There are actually 3 Guardians, because the second Guardian mentioned there was another one that was 1,000 times stronger than him.
That was George.
So I was waiting for that third one to be.
Yeah, things work in 3s, right? Well, Anja hasn't thought this through. Where on earth is she going to find a hairdresser that can give her that style?
Boy,
that feathered, literally feathered style. So that is the end of the issue. Surprisingly enough, so we got the deets, the facts, the information here for you. This is the first appearance of Jeff, and I wrote Jar. I'm sorry, I misspelled Jeff's name. Not that anyone cares. Nobody. I guarantee. If you have a slab of this, please check chat. Does it say first appearance of Jeff or Joff? Because I have a feeling it probably doesn't. I don't think anybody's like, ooh, spec alert on Joff. This is the first issue that would go all the way through issue 143 with John Byrne sitting there at the table drawing. Second appearance of the Starjammers, second appearance of D'Ken and some others, but not the second appearance of the Guardian, because he is not in this issue. Not quite sure what happened to him and his crew. I don't remember them being like destroyed at the end of the last one, so he's just gone. It does not say the first appearance of Jeff.
Damn.
Shocking. Hello, Biggie Shaq. Good to see you, my man.
Gonna have to reach out to CBC.
They only really faced Joff. He's a Bronze Age legend before that right hook. There you go. That right hook. There you go.
Does he appear again?
I doubt we've ever seen him again.
Hickman's going to bring him back.
Is a skunk. There you go. So this is a very reasonable early 100 issue X-Men book. A 9.8 goes for $650, which is, I think, the lowest we've seen a 9.8 go for in this run. And it's not even a ×3. It's a less than ×3 ratio to go from a 9.6 at 240 to a 9.8 at 650.
Wow.
So that's a rarity as well.
If you're going to go all the way.
And it's a key first appearance of Jeff.
And it's a first burn.
There you that's obviously the real collectability is John Byrne's first interior art on the X-Men. Let's see. There are almost 300 9.6s, almost 300 9.4s, and almost 200 9.2s, but only 156 9.8s on the CGC census.
Wow.
And that wraps it up as far as all that stuff is concerned. You guys have any thoughts you want to get into here?
I wanted to bring up, as we were talking about the pricing, Desired Comics. I don't know if he's still in here or not.
I just saw him. He just left a comment.
Oh, all right, cool. So, so he reached out to me asking about issue 107, getting that in a 9.8. And I brought it up. I was like, oh, cool. Like, yeah, you see us talking about it on the show. And he actually didn't even see that. He just started to realize those numbers and looking at that. I'm like, oh, dude, you got to go back, watch some of our issues. We literally break that down. And he pulled the trigger on one. He has a 9.8 right now in a 10, or I'm sorry, a 9.6, and he's trying to. I'm sorry, I got that mixed up. He's going to try
to press and clean and bump it up.
Yeah, and he's going to try to press it to a 9.8. Yeah,
dude, so, I'd love to have you on when you get it back. We'll see what you get. I would be super pumped on that, man.
Yeah, I think it's an older. I don't know if it's the oldest label or it's the middle old label. I think it's definitely not the newer though. So he has a good shot, I think.
That's awesome. If it looks like it's, I mean, I've seen some that don't have it, just simply taking them out, pressing it, and sending it back. You don't need to clean it. I've seen some people get bumps just from that because they've never been through that process.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Desired. I'm sorry. His name is
Nigel.
Nigel. We've had some interesting discussions about the variance between a 9.6 and a 9.8 in this run, because you'll have some like 107 that have this insane bump and others that have a 2 or like this one just under a 3. So it's been quite an unusual era.
Well, that's usually because the cover itself is hard to get in that grade, right? That just one little, tick.
That's what we're saying for 107 is that it has enough black on it that I think there was something ridiculous, like only like 90 9.8s, like a much like less than half of what this one does.
Right. Definitely low.
Hello, Double A Comics. Thanks for coming by. He says it's an old blue label 9.6. Oh, that would be awesome, brother. I wish you all the best, Nigel. I hope you get that 9.8, because if you do, that's like pop the champagne, buddy, because that's a big deal.
We'll get him on the show. He said he'll be down to be on the show at some point.
Absolutely, yeah. You let us know. We got some blank spaces in the issue number 20s and a couple in the teens as well. But next week we're gonna have Chet on here. So Chet the Jedi is gonna be here.
Nice.
So happy to have him back again next week. So yeah, any last thoughts on this one for you? I know KACHOONG, you're a big Phoenix fan, and I feel like we've had now a few issues of her being able to kind of like throw down. Right? It was like 105 when she's fighting Fire Lord,
right?
Then they had a gap in 106, 107. She was kind of like sidelined because she was exhausted. Then 108 now. So what are you feeling about that character?
No, I think she's coming into her, she's really feeling the power and being able to deal with it better, and just, being able to manage that uncontrollability like you saw in this issue. She's definitely growing as a character and filling those Phoenix shoes like you would expect her to. Eventually she's going to be a powerhouse. I mean, this issue, she surely was the powerhouse of the issue.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but I kind of wish that Jeff didn't get up after that. After she threw that meteor on top of him.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Even in her exhaustion, she could still pull down a meteor on him, which is
right.
I forgot this, PJ. Thanks for reminding us that Byrne would co-plot a lot of issues with Claremont, and they did have some friction which is why he moved over to Fantastic Four. Yeah.
How about that?
Right.
Phenomenal cosmic power.
I'm more of a fan of her clone, though, right?
There's nothing wrong with that. I was pulling out some of my favorite covers of the year to make decisions and talk with Alec, and I pulled out that great Jay Anceletto Goblin Queen cover.
Queen. Oh, wow.
She looks like a genie because I almost feel like you just need a little bottle down here, and she's making
wow, that is gorgeous.
That's cool.
Yeah, I feel like Jay Anceletto's not getting a lot of love for his Hellions variants, and they're all just fire, absolutely fire.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, we end each week looking back at the previous episode of this show and the previous issue we read and asking you some trivia questions. We want to reward this awesome crew that hangs out and watches these shows with us and hangs with us to discuss these books by giving first, KnowGood Comics is giving away volume 2 of this omnibus. So if you get an omnibus, you just need to get one of our trivia questions right before anybody else, and you get an entry in the raffle to win that.
Could be yours.
Good choice of cover, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Second, we keep a running total of scored points. And when we get to giving away that raffled item, I am also going to do an X-Men mystery box for whoever has the highest on the scoreboard. Now, if the highest person wins that, then I'll go to the second place person on the overall scoreboard. You get you get 2 points for being correct on the scoreboard. You get 1 point for being the second person correct. And you get 1 point if you make us laugh with the funniest comment in the chat for our trivia questions. So far, we still have I Got Issues in first place, but Chet and Beta Ray Jim and Jackson Roy Kirk and Magic Lasso, they're all making a push on beating Issues. His work schedule changed, so he's having a harder time being in the chat. You can take advantage, move your way up there, win some raffle tickets to win the Omni or get in on our X-Men mystery box. So be ready for that.
Yep.
So did you want to go first, Justin?
Yeah, sure. I'll kick it off. So the first question is, what's the name of the green creature that almost took Lilandra's life in last issue? A large green creature that was supposed to be her sentence to being killed from her brother.
Ken for you, man.
Yeah.
Such a punk. Let's see here.
He took it away. Jackson's answer. He took it away.
He's already the best one. Let's see here. I got the live chat going, but I only see one correct answer. But now I see two.
Yep. I see one.
No, I see one. You're right. Wow, JR. Holy cow. I see one correct answer. We're just waiting for the second correct answer, but I'm already given JR Team Nerd Herd the comedy point, which is, I think, his first point here.
Yeah, I believe so. He was with us last episode, but there we go. We got two now.
Okay, so first correct answer would be this gentleman, although I would give you either one of these. Hobgood, the Soul Drinker, or just Soul Drinker. All acceptable answer. And then JR gets another point for being the second one. So he gets two. And the raffle ticket, though, goes to our man Chet. And Chet has now officially logged into he's super close, man. He is full all by himself, second place, man. All right. So, yes, the Soul Drinker. It was not Jeff, TJ. It was not Jeff. But I'm glad that you're here. I think you've been eating this whole time, so you haven't been talking as much.
TJ.
That looks like it says Jeff Good Comics there. That's fine.
Yeah, it does.
My question is, who rescued Lilandra from the Soul Drinker? She was horrified from this thing, even though none of our characters were like, I don't know, it's just green. I don't know what the problem is. Somebody rescued her from this evil fate. Who was it that rescued her?
Yeah, I don't even know how you'd go about fighting the Soul Drinker. I mean, you can't like punch it, really. You know.
That's Colossus's method.
Yeah.
Give it one to the jaw. I see one correct answer, so I know who's getting the raffle ticket.
Oh yeah.
Waiting on one more, and it looks like JR. I got JR. Let me check the live chat over here. Yep. All right. So correct answer was Magic Lasso with Nightcrawler. He's the one that bamfed over and got her and teleported with her, which I don't know that we've seen him do until now. And then JR was second one in the chat. So let's give JR another point. JR making a big dent tonight. Jumping right in.
A soul sponge, huh?
With a big sponge. All right. That's the funniest answer I saw so far, Joel. So you're going to get the point, the comedy point there.
Soak up those souls.
Yeah. That's what a sponge does. Hey, you know, it's a good, useful tool. All right.
All right.
Got a second question here.
Question number 2 is who does Wolverine get his new threads from? He had an epic battle. As they were going on with the battle, he happened to change clothes after his were burnt off.
As one is wont to do in times of battle.
Yeah, you look around and you see who the next guy is next to you, that you can just take their clothes and who was this guy?
Right? Magic Lasso coming on strong.
Yep. Nice.
Another raffle ticket and trying to catch up now in solid third place, Lasso.
Wow.
And JR with another point.
The men's warehouse.
Sabretooth's the men's warehouse. He did not. Sabretooth's granddad. I'm going to go with men's warehouse. Jackson Roy Kirk, as always.
Nice.
Comedy legend. And that leaves one last question for the night. And my question is, what is it that Deken needed to align in order to power the M-Cron crystal? What was he needing to align so that the M-Cron crystal, I still can't believe I can say that without dying of shame.
You're doing pretty good. Yeah.
What did he need to align in order to power the M-Cron crystal? The M-Cron crystal.
His lower back.
Oh, man. I put the link to DK Comics and Cosplay down below if you guys don't know that Delphia and KACHOONG are the D and the K, and they have been doing a ton of content lately, actually. You guys have been doing stuff with Bake the Snake on your cosplays. You guys had some unboxings. You guys have been doing a bunch lately.
Yeah. We definitely need to get back with Bake and get that running up again. Because
he's got that Mando helmet he's building.
Yeah, he could be a few steps ahead of me. I need to catch up, but yeah, we've been doing a few things here and there. Been busy with life, but you know that's how it goes. But yeah, we'll be getting into the cosplay a little bit more.
I see one correct answer in the chat, so I know who is getting the raffle item, the raffle ticket entry, and the 2 points. Just waiting for one more correct one. I see Joel the Geek is going to win the comedy with his chakras. He was aligning his chakras. Thank you, Joel. And JR gets the second correct answer by knowing that if you follow Chet, and you did, you'll probably find the correct answer. Yeah, Death Stars. The Death Stars needed to align.
Nice.
So JR went from none points to 5 points
Damn.
in one single night.
That's pretty good.
That's how it happens. That's how you get yourself on the board. You work your way up and hopefully get some raffle tickets to win an awesome prize.
Heck yeah.
Chet says, I got to get my points up because next week he's a guest. And yeah, you can't win as many points. Right. Can't win as many points from the.
He might cancel.
Yeah, right? It's not like I got issues. I don't want to come back on that show. I want to win stuff, man.
Yeah. KACHOONG, you can clean up next week.
Right. I think I have one comedy point. That's about it.
Let's see where you are.
1 point.
You are, yeah, one comedy point, which, hey, that's always appreciated. So huge thanks, Dave, for coming by and talking. I know you and I are definitely big early Claremont fans, and look at this book right under my finger there. That is a beast of a book.
Love it.
Love that green and yellow cover, the Steranko goodness. So thank you for coming by. I really do appreciate it.
No worries. It was great.
Yeah,
I appreciate you guys having me.
Have to have you on again.
Anytime.
Cool.
And Justin, you got some stuff coming up that you want to shout out? Because I know you're a guest on a show tomorrow night.
Yes, I'm really excited that I'll be teaming up with Southern Comic Geek over on his channel tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern time. So, and we're talking X-Men. So that's the exciting stuff right there. So yeah, we're gonna go over some stuff. He's always talking X-Men on his channel, and we've been talking about getting together to doing a little something. So yeah, we'll be talking about that over there tomorrow, 7 o'clock, and then I have Comic Collector Origins coming up on Saturday. Got another guest lined up for that. So yeah, we'll be there at 2 o'clock. And I have a video going up tomorrow. That's what I wanted to say. And I've been starting to get back into pre-recorded videos. So trying to get back into content, as KACHOONG was just talking about, getting more content out there. And so I have my top 10 books that I acquired in 2020, which I realize now were some pretty big books. So I'll have that up tomorrow.
Yes, his name is KACHOONG on Instagram. You can find him over there. You can find DK Comics and Cosplay over there as well.
Yes.
2 O's. 2 O's, not 3.
2 O's, okay. Dave, do you have anything coming up specifically that you know in the next week or so that people need to be watching?
I mean, I'd thought about maybe giving a rundown on the AOKs we've received this year. It's been a tough year, but we have amazing community members and friends that we've made that are very generous. So got a few cool books. But yeah, other than that, maybe some cosplay in the next few weeks. We'll see how the garage goes. Got to clean it up.
And you had some mystery boxes for sale. I only think you got a handful of them left, right?
A few left, yeah. We got a few left for $45 shipped. I know a few of them have been getting them this week, so
$45 shipped. You're basically you're getting a box full of books, like 25 to 30
at
books.
least 25 books, yeah. And then there's a couple in there that are probably worth at least $10 each. So. And
you're paying less than $2 a book shipped, which is amazing.
You can put me down for one of those.
Serious?
Ooh.
Yeah, man.
All right.
So if you want one of those, be sure to get in on them because there's only a handful. What do you say, 5 or 6 left, right?
It's about 5 or 6, yeah.
So get over there, say a little message on his Instagram, let him know that you're interested. Okay. All right. As for me, I dropped a bunch of edited videos this week. Obviously, I'm a teacher on vacation, so I tend to have more edited content at that time. But my daughters did their first movie review since Spider-Man Far From Home, and they broke down spoiler-filled review of Wonder Woman. So if you wanted to know what the Wonder Woman film was all about and would kids enjoy it and what would they think, my girls disliked it far more than I did. They were very hard on it, but it is somewhat entertaining to hear their perspectives.
Ellie especially.
Oh, she was guns a-blazing. Guns a-blazing. So that dropped. I'm dropping another video this week. My pull list will drop on Thursday. And I'm working on a video for the future state because I wanted to learn what it's all about and what it means and what's going to happen during it. So I'm going to do a future state video if that interests you. If you just want to know more about it, that's going to be coming here in the next week as well for me. And that is it. Tomorrow night, book club is on my channel. And we're looking back at 2020. We're going to count down our favorite covers, our favorite reads, and then we're going to look at books we're hoping to pick up in 2021. Ooh. So you can expect that on my channel tomorrow night in about an hour from now, tomorrow night. Sweet. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming, and we will see you back on Justin's channel next week for Omni X-Men 109.
Can't wait.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.